Hi, it's Dr. Darnise. Welcome back into an episode. Hey, I just want to let y'all know that I'm going to be doing a new series of videos. I'm going to put them together in a playlist called Our Black Lives, History, Politics, Culture, and More. And what I mean by that is I want to have a particular place where I create videos, where I give a commentary on things that are going on in our world, in our country, right? Things that matter to our community, things that are happening on a daily basis that sometimes we're not paying attention to or we don't think it affects us directly. But I got things to say about it, as you know I do, right? So I'll be putting on my professor hat, I'll be putting on my life coach hat, I'll be putting on my hat from somebody who spent a good amount of time in Hollywood, rubbing elbows with the rich and famous. All of my hats and all of my experience. I want to come on and offer some commentary on these things because you know what? We cannot be left behind. We have got to really circle the wagons because we know how this goes. We have been in situations where white supremacy has just been, running amok and has been violent and virulent against us. And we know that in order to survive, we have to support each other and we have to take care of ourselves, right? But you can't do that if you don't know what's going on, right? You can't just be doom scrolling, right? And just be like, well, that don't got nothing to do with me. Has everything to do with you because decisions are being made that are affecting your well-being, are affecting your children, are affecting our communities at large. So you have to pay attention. Now, some of the stuff we can benefit from, like the example I'm about to give you right now, we can benefit from because it's not about us directly. Have you seen where education has come into the forefront of the conversation again because we got Elon and Vivek telling white Americans how they are not fit for high tech jobs. Mhm. Now, let me just pause for a second here. I am always on here telling y'all to please be sure your kids are doing well in school. Please make sure your kids can read. I'm sure you have seen the news reports about how Gen Alpha, the young kids in school right now, cannot read. If you didn't hear it from me, and I got videos on this channel about it, you might hear it in the news. Even students going into the Ivy League universities struggling to read. You got to really think about that. A basic level skill like reading, our children cannot do it. What does that mean? It means that the Billionaire Boys Club, they're going to turn the illiterate masses into serfs and indentured servants for their own wealth. As if they don't have enough wealth, they are trying to really dumb down America to the point where Americans have no choice but to take the crumbs, to take jobs that are at minimum wage, to take low wage service jobs. So, what do we have to do as a people? Stop waiting for other people to educate your children on things like American history, things like math, things like reading. What does that mean you need to do? Well, one thing you can do is get the reading list that I put out, right? That reading list is free. You just got to, I'll put the link in the description box and you can just click through. You got to give me your email so I can send it to you. But this is just no joke right now. I keep saying it because it really is a critical thing. If you think your child is struggling with reading, you are going to have to sit with them and read, which means you're going to have to put down the phone too sometimes. Just create, I call it reading hour, an hour a week, or maybe 15 minutes a day. Whatever you decide to do, you do. But it's critical. So back to Vivek and Elon, right? They are out here on this internet street, well, on Elon's X. He is telling these white Americans that they can go and F themselves. He really said that because he said he absolutely has to have H-1B visas. He absolutely has to have H-1B visas, and Vivek co-signs because they need people with high-tech skills to work in their companies. They need the brown labor force. They're talking specifically out of India. They want the brown labor force to come over here, right? The H-1B visa, and work for them. They don't want to hire Americans because they said Americans are stupid, lazy, unqualified for these jobs. Flat out have said this, and I don't know how you've missed it. I don't know how you have missed it. You just go and Google, and you won't believe the directness with which they are both telling America, oh, you voted for us. When you voted for that man, when you voted for that man to be president, you voted for the whole billionaire boys club to come in here and be an oligarchy now. We are owned by corporations. The presidency has been bought and sold. The presidency, they own it. And you see, Elon is walking around and saying stuff like he already knows he owns it, and that's just what it is. Okay, so if these people are saying we're not even trying to hire Americans, and they're really talking to their base, so they're really talking to white people, and these white people who supported them are crying bloody murder, and they are arguing with Elon. Elon blocks them on his platform. He cancels their account. He does whatever he wants to do. And he's like, yeah, I said it. You all are, he used the R word, retarded, to talk about people who have a mental disability. He used that R word, and he told them flat out, you're retarded. Okay, what does this mean for us as Black people? This means that it is incumbent upon us to educate ourselves, because what these billionaires are saying is they are trying to create a, a labor force for themselves, right? They see Americans as the lower wage, the lower class, the ones who are unqualified, unprepared for the high paying tech job. So Americans, you can forget about Elon or Vivek hiring you for that tech job, that six-figure tech job. It ain't for you. It's not a white job. Mm-mm. It's a brown job. So for Black people, what do we need to do? We need to make sure that we are educating our kids in STEM in particular, right? Vivek pretty much said you should have been about that STEM life. Y'all have been worshiping athletes and celebrities. You weren't paying attention to, the smart kid who was like the math geek, or, the computer geek or whatever. The science and math people in school, those kids who really got made fun of for being a nerd, being a geek. And he's like, yeah, well, we run the world now. They run the world now. And Vivek is out here saying, you should have been paying more attention to STEM than running around a football field. Okay. So again, what does this have to do with us? It reminds us as we watch, and if you watch my shorts, I've been making a lot of shorts lately. I have a let's watch, right? And it really is posted from my other YouTube channel, but you might see them too, right? I call it my Let's Watch series, because I'm like, yeah, let's watch. A lot of this really doesn't have anything to do with us directly, but it does indirectly, because if you're talking that way flat out to white Americans and calling them stupid to their faces, what where are Black people going to fall out in that? Okay, so Black people, it means I got to make sure my kids are STEM prepared. Now, not everybody's going to go into tech, granted, but make sure your kids, maybe it's even you, do you want to go back to school? Do you want to go back to school? Maybe you want to go back to school for something in tech or in medicine. It may be something that you want to do because the writing is on the wall. If you are not an educated person in this American society, you are doomed to a life of low level servitude. And I can't say it any plainer than that. As we all see now, the middle class is being chipped away at bit by bit, right? The middle class is going away. And if you are not educated, you will have nothing to stand on. And these billionaires are now telling everybody in America to our faces, you are literally stupid, ignorant, R word, lazy, unqualified for me to hire you. Flat out in those words, right? And so people who are like critiquing, who are like arguing with Elon, they're like, well, you have to hire American workers and you have to educate us then. They told Elon that he should educate them so that they are trained for tech work. And that's when Elon told them to go F themselves. I ain't lying. Google it. That white man from South Africa told these white people, I cannot educate you. I'm not going to spend time educating you. I don't want to spend time educating you because you are too retarded for me to bother. I am going to get my workers from other parts of the world. I'm going to have this H-1B visa, and that's what it is. And because they sold themselves out, right? These white MAGA, they sold themselves out and they didn't even realize they were doing it. They thought they were voting for that person to be president, and they saw right in front of their faces how many of his rallies did Elon show up at. He was out paying people $1 million to go and vote the way he said to vote. And now they act surprised. Oh, people act surprised. Oh, I regret my Trump vote. It's too late now. The Billionaire Boys Club is taking over. So, Black people, what does this mean for you? It means that this is our wake up call and is also an opportunity. Okay? So, don't say, like, well, they told the white people that, what chance do we have? We already know we have to be excellent. We already know that when Black people focus on being excellent, we excel far above because we've always had to. But what we cannot do is become so complacent. We cannot give your child a device, a tablet, from the time they can hold it and expect that they're going to be well prepared when it's time to graduate high school. Some of our kids are not even able to read when they graduate high school. They can't do math when they're graduating high school. So, where is that going to put them in the new world economy? They are going to be in low level service jobs. They're going to be working at the gas station or whatever, jobs that are needed, but low level, and they're going to be struggling financially all of their lives. It's a servitude. We wouldn't call it slavery, we can call it wage slavery, but not entirely slavery because they get paid. But you only get paid like a serf minimum so you can stay alive and go to work the next day. That's what the billionaires want to do with the American labor force. Now we're going to bring in these other laborers because they're educated. So I just thought I would bring that to your attention and bring to your attention that I've created a particular playlist where I'm going to do, or I'm going to upload my commentary type of video. So it'll be easy for you to find them in one place. So I think there might be, I don't know, a few videos already posted there. So some of them are older. And then there'll be a couple new ones, I think, there as well. So follow me on that playlist. And I definitely want to hear your comments. Definitely want to know what you're thinking because in these times, every day, I mean, we don't even get not even a 24-hour cycle before something else hits the fan. And, we could really be in it for the next 4 years. And so, Black people, that means don't fall for the okie doke. don't be out here just wasting away your time just frivolously. Preparation and circling the wagon so we can make sure that we're going to be all right. Okay? So if you've been with me the long haul, just put down there, we're going to be all right. Put that in the comments. We're going to be all right. And I will see you next time.